Go a bit higher, Dad, if you can. If not, you need to lean on the other side. A bit more. There we go. Anyway, that should be alright there. So welcome back team for another prep video. We are prepping ready for Northampton. So last time we were out in the shale car was Bradford, so we're just stripping the car down after the big crash at Bradford, ready to get ready for Northampton.
That was straight, and that's all.
Oh yeah, it's actually bent here, isn't it? And
Yeah,
the tube,
that's not going to have a bloody bend in it there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I bet that's where the caliper's pulled it, because all that would be solid, wouldn't it?
The caliper got broken. The caliper was still on.
Still attached, yeah.
It broke that little.
The disc and the wheel adapter seems to be straight, so. Look from the back. Can't see nothing.
In the right direction.
He's pointing anywhere but the right direction, to be fair. Can I get it into there? Oh yeah. It's literally the axle's coming up, and then the half shaft standing upright.
Still looks straight.
Yeah. I mean, if you turn, well, you ain't gonna turn it. That's pretty solid. We're gonna pull that. You want to pull it out? We can wait till it's on the bench. So we decided in the end, pull the half shaft out and find out what damage there was before we got it out the car. And the bearing's in one piece-ish, which I thought that were going to be.
Oh, keep pulling. Let's see what that come out. He's in the tarmac.
Ah, yes, that'll be it.
That's why it stopped driving.
That'll be why it don't go round anymore. Well, I'll be damned.
It's got a bit of a bend in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely got a bow in it.
I know.
You can see. I don't know, it's very hot. You can see the. Yeah, oh, it's bent there, isn't it? Remember right at the end. And yeah, there should be some splines on here that drive it, but they're obviously still in the diff. So once we'd established the damage to the half shaft and what had actually broke, we thought we'd pull the rest of the axle out and have a look at the diff, crown wheel and pinion, and obviously the half shaft on the other side, and see what damage it had done further down the axle. So here I'm just stripping the rest of the axle down, pulling the back pan off and pulling the crown wheel out to see what damage is deeper in the axle. So once we'd established what was going on with the rear axle, we then went to make up a new casing. So I got on with cutting and getting ready to make the Nerf rail for the outside, for the one that got smashed off. So we're just welding it up and getting ready to reinstall that. So, Nerf rail welded up, axle's out. Dad's just on with welding the brackets on the new axle we're going to put in this week, because this one is a few different shapes. You can see probably that it's back there, and then if I move around this side, I'll probably put it on one. Yeah, you can see it's up there and back. Also, the diff, the other half, the piece of the half shaft still stuck in the end of the diff centre, and the crown wheel and pinion isn't very clever either, so it's done quite a bit of damage. But so yeah, it's done a bit of damage, but it's a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. So hopefully, I've got this nerf welded up and ready. Going to grind that up another night. There's the other end of the half shaft. You can see the end's broken off it. You can see how bent that is. So yeah, I'll basically get this back together. And also noticed the other night when because I nicked these for the tarmac car, but it stretched the rose joint. You can see that the bearings, there's a gap here. There's actually quite a bit of play in that. You can't see it on camera, but I can feel it. You can see that he's not round, stretched. So that's another problem. I don't think it's done the 2 rose joints on the panel any good either, so there's another problem. But we'll cross that bridge as I put it back together. So I think that's enough for tonight, because it's about 9 o'clock on Saturday night. We're racing tomorrow at Skegness, so I'll see you in the week, I suppose. So just dropping in another night to my dad setting the backlash on the diff. And then here is the new axle all ready to go in, basically, all but just wanted to put a flick of paint on it to stop it going rusty. Here I'm just degreasing the axle, ready to put a bit of primer on it. I don't think we've got any silver paint, so I ended up just primering it, but it just stop it going rusty with the shale at Northampton. So once that were done, we could get the axle put back, or the new axle put in the car, and start getting everything built back up. So I'm just got a new half shaft for the outside and re-greasing the bearings for the inside because they're greased and not oil fed. And then a little bit of grease in the oil and installing the half shafts. So my dad's just finishing off the end plate for the wheel guard bracket on the bumper on the wheel guard. So I was just setting up the shock absorber and the shock absorber mounts, and now my dad's welding them on because we had to do them in the car, so they met in the right place for the shockers. Then a bit later on in the night, we're just putting the crosses in for the Nerf bar. We had to remount the rear spring mount, or the rear of the front spring mount this side, as it had been damaged in the accident. So there's the gearbox going in, and now all the wheel adapters and brakes going back on. So welcome back, team. It's Thursday night, the week of the European Championship at Northampton. So last, I believe, that was my second place one from last Northampton. it'd be nice to add that to the collection, but it'll also be quite nice to see somebody else win a roof this year. I've got to be honest, it's early on. Paul Press is down to blue. He's got a good chance, but there's also a few other drivers. They're quite quick now. We've got found the feet through the year, and it could be anybody's at the minute. So our European is run as the meeting final. We do 2 heats. You qualify through your heats to be polar grade, which, to be fair, is actually our normal grading system. The only real difference then is that it is closed grid. So basically, you're racing in your heats to get to the front of your grade, but then it will be closed grid onto the back of the grade in front, so there won't be any gaps. And I think then the non-qualifying cars, anyone that doesn't score any points, normally start in a separate grid behind that. So obviously last year, Timmy Aldridge won it round Skegness. But he's starting back with us Superstars, so yeah, Timmy's got a good chance to retain it, I suppose, overall. So there's a few quick drivers about that have dropped through the grades because Paul Prest hasn't raced much recently with it being mainly tarmac, and he's mainly a shale man. So he's down to blue, and he's got probably the best form this year around Northampton. So that, should I put a prediction in and say Paul Prest for the European? I think so, but we'll wait and see. So as for us, we've got the car is coming back together, another new rear axle. So the one out of the car from last weekend from last Bradford when this happened. So well, my dad's put together a new axle. I only got any primer, so it's in primer for now. So we put together a new axle. That's now in. I think we've got to put some oil in it, so I better put that on the board. I'm just getting around, putting all the brackets on it, putting the prop on, putting the gearbox back in because we took it out, take it as a spare to the tarmac meetings. So I think we're going to get on with that tomorrow night. I'm going to get all the bits bolted up and get us sorted, ready to put the air filter and that back on tomorrow. And yeah, we're pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to crack on with this and let you watch. So the rod ends are a bit, you can't really, you probably won't see it on the camera, but you can hear it. Oh. And play in rose joints. It's not great, so. So this one is, if I twist that, obviously if I show you the other one that's loose, I can I'm basically using the same amount of force here to move that one around. Well, that won't even move. In fact, it'll hardly move that way at all. And then it'll move quite freely that way, but it won't, it's binding up going the other way. So I'm going to change these. So what we do when we sell these as well, the 5/8 3/4 top hat spacers. So we use 3/4 rose joints because they're stronger, but a 5/8 bolt is normally is good enough to hold them. 3/4 ones are more sturdy, so we use these inserts, which are little top hat spacers, to go into the rose joint like so, and then they are also the perfect width for the double shear. So they slide in like that. Oh god, hang on, let's raise that. So this side will go in there, slide in like that, and then normally out at the top hole. then I can adjust it out. These are just little things you learn over time, but I've always put the bolt this side facing backwards so that the shell doesn't go in the nut. The one the other end's blocked in, so you can't get to that, but just like that. Looking pretty good now. We've got the back axle built back up. I'll put the brake pipe on this side and bleed this brake up. Carbs are all been cleaned and measured. Just got this nerf rail to finish off, and that's about it at the minute. So hopefully we'll be done that by end of play tomorrow night. So now we're just finishing off on the scales. I think the cone went flat this night, so we spent a long time on the scales getting the car right, because it somehow, well, it bent that much when we had that crash at Bradford that the car was right down on the outside. So we had to wind a load of the adjusters about and get it back where it should be. So once we were happy with it, we wrote it all down as per usual and got on with getting it ready. So that's us all loaded up and ready for the last meeting, well, last points meeting of the year. We will be racing at Garland hopefully in a few weeks. But tonight and tomorrow's last shale meeting of 2024. Last shale meeting of the year. It's the European Championship, which just have to go and see what we can do with that. Hopefully we'll definitely know the outcome of the national points by the end of tomorrow. Well, we'll probably know it now, but we'll see by the end of tomorrow what we all finish on. So massive thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you after Northampton tomorrow as we start to get ready for Garland.